cold, ain't it? Y'all want to take that chill off early? I got a traditional cowboy chili recipe and it is good. It's right here. You can tell we might be at different surroundings. We're up here at Silver Dollar City in Branson, Missouri, and fall is in the air. And when fall is falling or fail to fall, one of the two, I'm thinking about one thing most in particular. Cold weather is coming and I need me some chili. And there's so many different ways that people make chili. I mean, every way in the world. This is probably a way that was in my family forever and ever, and that's sort of what I like to use. But when we talk about chili, we talk about chili meat. Now, a lot of people think that's ground meat, but traditional old chili meat was chunk meat, like chunked up roast, chunked up scrap meat, anything like that. Throw in a pot, cook it down till it's good and tender, then let's go to adding that stuff that makes it chili. Now, I've used pork, I've used deer, I've used elk, I've used moose. I have even tried some bear chili one time. Don't do it, folks. I didn't think too much of it when I was out there in the Gila. Today we're using 2 pounds of ground beef, certified Angus beef, 80-20 blend. Brown it up over on Old Bertha. Add the onions when the meat just starts to brown. Let it come to that good tender part where them onions is sort of translucent. Let's pull it off over here at the fire and let's go to making chili. Let's start with that stuff called Rotel. Now, don't get that confused with Rotella motor oil. They do make such a thing. This is Rotel chunky. It's diced tomatoes and green chilies. Now, we have drained it. We have. It takes 2 cans of them, and we're going to dump them in there. We're going to add a can of water. Pour right in there. To help me from getting self-confused, I like to put the stuff that I have used on the right from the left. Now, this is another big argument in the chili community around the world. Beans or no beans. Now, I've had it both ways. At home, we had less meat, more beans because we was poor. So I've always tended to put beans in there, and you can use any kind you want. I love a kidney bean in mine. Make a pot of pinto beans, save some of them, put them in here. Whatever you want to put in there, put them in there. 1 can of beans. Then we're going to go with some tomato sauce. Now, if you got a garden, you can blend this down on your own. Homemade, it's even better. But I ain't got no garden up here on the road. So we got a pretty good concoction going on right here now, I promise you. I'm going to give it just a little stir to get things sort of mixed up here. Chili got its name really from 2 reasons. It's good to eat it in chilly weather when it's cold, but also chili, the seasoning, chili, like chili pepper, chili hot, chili spice. And we're going to add some of that to it. Now, for years, this was my go-to ingredient in everything I made except chocolate cake, biscuits, and coffee. Chipotle peppers and adobo sauce. But today, I'm changing it up because it's finally here. Christmas came early. We got our green chili chipotle relish finally jarred up, and I'm going to add me some of it, folks. How much? I'd say about that much right there, which is probably nearly a half a cup. A good stir. Make sure everything is blended well. I have a taste here of this juice just to see what's happening. Whew, that is good. It's got a little chili powder kick to it. This relish and that smoke add to it. Let's take it over to Old Bertha and let her simmer this rascal till it gets good and done, and we are good to go. Got this set over here on Old Bertha, and we're going to let her bring it to a boil slowly. I'm just going to let her love on it for about 45 minutes, let her go slow and easy. Now, a lot of you, and you've heard me say it, cooking this chili in cast iron, some people say, oh, you can't do that. So many things in there that is hard on cast iron too. That is tomato-based product, them spices like that, they are hard on the seasoning of your cast iron. So make sure when you get through with this, clean it very, very well, dry it out on a hot surface, re-season. You can cook that chili in it. In fact, I think it tastes better out of cast iron than it does anything in the world. Just remember to clean really well and re-season because it does eat on that seasoning. I don't boil in cast iron. Now that's water-based like soups, pasta. I don't boil red beans in there, or pinto beans. It turns loose your seasoning and makes stuff black. But you can boil this in a cast iron because it is not water-based purely. There is something else going on in there with it. Whew, smell that? Can y'all smell it? Let me give you a little whiff of that. That there is smelling good. Now you'll remember you got to stir this every once in a while, because what happens? And beans get tired of swimming. Lay down there on the bottom. One burnt bean will ruin a whole batch of chili, I promise you. That's maybe why some people don't put them in there. I like kidney bean in mine, and I ain't too lazy to stir it. So Bertha's got it simmering right along. We're going to put the lid back on there so we don't lose none of that flavor, and let her go. But there's different ways I've seen cooking methods of this chili, you know. Sure, I got her sitting on top of old Bertha. Didn't want to build me a big fire one time, just use me a trivet, put some coals underneath, set it right there on the ground. I've seen people hang it over one of them tripods over a fire. People set it around a rock deal on some fire. But remember, whatever you're cooking it on, you got to stir it. Now, as you can see, if Shan will zoom in here a little bit, this is a 12-inch Dutch oven. We're going to feed 8 to 10 people, normal folks. Tonight, we ain't feeding that. It's me and the Beagle going to eat the whole pot full. I feel sorry for Shan tomorrow, but we're going to go to town on that chili. If you're cooking this in the house, I'd put it on one of them medium highs or medium on that burner. Bertha, she ain't got no knobs, so we're probably on what she calls automatic pilot. And she's going to make things go. See what I'm talking about? And we're going to stir it again. Woo! Self-cleaning oven. Here's what I would call on high heat right there. So how do we slow things down on Bertha? I got the eye out of her right now. So I'm going to slow this down a little, if Bertha will give it to me. And we'll put this eye back in there. Set her right back over here. Now we've got it on what you would call Bertha low heat. Because remember, this is a Dutch oven. See them legs down there? It's off that heat a little while. Now if you was on a regular camp oven that didn't have no legs in it, you better be careful if you're cooking it right on a fire plate or something itself, because you're going to have to stir it more often. Took it off the magical dragon over our old Bertha. In there, she got it good to a rolling boil there. We let her go a minute, slowed her down to a simmer, probably about 40-45 minutes to let all them flavors incorporate. Now, I've been wanting to take a gander at it, so come on over here, Shan. Let's see what's happening. Ooh. That smells like chili, folks, and that stuff right there, it will fight off anything you got going on. So I'm going to spoon me some of this up, because it is what's happening here. When I was to eat this, being me, I'd put me some of that grated cheese on there. I'd get me some crackers or some cornbread, and I'd put me a big old dollop of that relish that me and Shan got right on top. Stir it up. Some of y'all going to want to put sour cream on it. Not me. I'm going to eat it. Now remember, chili. You can make it with any kind of meat you want. Chunk meat, ground meat, wild game, anything. Just make sure you brown it good, season it well before you start. Folks, before you go diving off in there to get a bite, you better let that cool, or get somebody to pucker up on it and blow a minute, because that stuff will burn the hair off a frog's butt right there. But that's chili, and it will warm you up. Wish y'all's here, you could have a little bite. That right there is hot, but it is good. It'll warm you up on a cold day, folks. We thank you so much for stopping by Silver Dollar City to see us. Hit the subscribe button. God bless you each and every one.